Well, I've had the pleasure of watching hundreds and thousands of kids being part of our Boys and Girls Club family. We have a very special partnership with the homeless shelter, and we send vans over during off-season or out-of-school hours to pick up children, so winter day camps, summer day camps, spring camps. We actually had a family, 3 children and a mom, who were residing in the shelter, and they had come up from LA and been a very distressful situation, and we picked the 3 kids up in the morning and enrolled them in the club and brought them here to the club.
Matthew, are you going to draw one of those rockets for us?
What brought me to the Boys and Girls Club is actually back when I was 6 years old. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California. I was born in Compton. Grew up around gang violence. My older brothers were heavily involved in gangs. My parents finally decided it was time to move away from Los Angeles. My parents found the Boys and Girls Club when I was about 8, 9 years old. When I first walked into the Boys and Girls Club, I felt like I belonged here. And the reason I say that is because the staff automatically greeted me with a big smile. Once you walk in through these doors and seeing the staff and knowing that you're safe, knowing that staff are here to care about you, and then they don't really care about other little things, but you being here in this facility with them is the most important part. So, and that really helped me stay on track with school. When I was 15 years old, they gave me my first job opportunity here at the Boys and Girls Club to work in the gymnasium where I started when I loved doing. To be able to give back and start working at the Boys and Girls Club as my first job and work in the gymnasium was something big for me.
The thing that brought me to the Boys and Girls Club was my sisters, how they became artists, so I wanted to come do that too.
When I first met Emerald, actually I met his sister first, and she was in our teen program, and basically she was bringing her brothers to the program. She got them up every morning, and they'd walk down the alleyway and get here when we first opened our doors at 7 a.m., and she was like a little mom to them.
Since I came here, I have been involved with animals and technology.
One of the things we noticed was Emerald started showing up in this dark suit. He said, "This is the suit that I wore to my dad's funeral service."
Since I was little, I just like wearing suits. I just haven't stopped. It's just fit my personality.
One of the local magazines was featuring the best dressed men in Bakersfield, and they saw Emerald and said, "Hey, we have this opportunity. Do you think he'd consider doing a spread for us?"
Zane helped me out and bought me some suits so I can put them on and get interviewed for the magazine.
He was so proud when the spread came out, and you had all these well-dressed men, and then you had a kid from the Boys and Girls Club displaying who he is to the world.
Bottom line, if it wasn't for the Boys and Girls Club and the great leaders I had and mentors like Zane Smith and Barry Hill and the other managers here, you know, honestly, I'd be another statistic. You know, being able to be the first high school graduate in my family because of the Boys and Girls Club encouragement and the staff here saying that I can do it no matter what my circumstances are. Not only that, in 2003, my oldest brother, when we moved up to Bakersfield from Los Angeles, he stayed back in the gangs. He got murdered because of gang violence in 2003. I loved what I was doing here with the kids, but I felt I had to do something because of my brother's passing, so I decided in 2004 to leave the Boys and Girls Club and join the Marine Corps. Got to do 2 tours and have fun and do all that great stuff. I ended up doing 6 years in the Marine Corps, but during that time, the Boys and Girls Club was still part of my life. The kids here would send me packages out in Iraq, and I loved getting the cards from the kids. My wife, which is actually a Boys and Girls Club employee herself, she was pregnant with my daughter. When I left to overseas, she was 4 months pregnant, and I remember when my daughter was born, I was on the phone and I missed about 10 minutes. My wife right away tells me that Zane and Barry and the other staff were right there with the presents for my child. So to be able to know that I have my Boys and Girls Club family there for me when I couldn't be there for my own child was something that's a blessing. So.
And that's the nice thing about the club is it creates a very supportive community, and it has a place for everybody. And our doors are open to any child, because we know that just because a child may go home to an affluent area, that doesn't mean they have a support system in place where they're going to thrive, where they don't have that one individual in their life who is their complete, no holds bar advocate.
The place I go to is the Boys and Girls Club, where I can play basketball, work out, and play with others, where I can paint and chill with my friends.
If it's my story, if it's a story that you're gonna hear from others, or just the continuous stories that you don't hear about our kids, if you go back and you know, you talk about 30 years ago, being shot at in a drive-by at 6 years old down in Los Angeles, and you fast forward 30 years and being a director of operations for the biggest Boys and Girls Club in the nation, that is a pretty great accomplishment. I got my bachelor's degree now. I'm a United States Marine. I'm a club alumni, and it's not possible, and it never have been possible without the Boys and Girls Club of Kern County and everything they have done for me and my family. It made me believe in myself.
Club 66 is an affiliation club for our donors and our stakeholders, and that's really what Boys and Girls Club is all about. It's about being affiliated, being connected. So the club was chartered in 1966, and the premise is 66 people, $66 a month, roughly comes out to about $52,000 a year. And what that means is more children, more often, with more enrichment and fantastic activities.
To know that we are somebody in this world, and no matter where our circumstances is, you have staff members that believe in you.
It's vital that every child have an advocate in their life who is absolutely thrilled about them, who sets the bar high for them, that invests in them, that tells them that they are valid and that they can be successful. And that is where the Boys and Girls Club always comes into play.
And what I say and I challenge is that, trust me and trust the staff that are here working in this organization, that we're going to put forth the best effort there is possible to make sure these kids get every single thing that they deserve as children, and understand that they can also become somebody they want to become in the future.